by far we have done few topics of grammar. We have completed almost all the topics that will come in your half yearlies. So we have done literature portion also, almost that is also completed. So we have two chapters and a poem remaining in your literature, and in grammar we have 2-3 topics remaining. So we will take them one by one. We will go ahead with grammar for a few weeks because we have only 3 topics remaining in literature. So we will focus more on grammar in the coming weeks. And today I am back with the grammar lecture. We will discuss in today's topic prepositions. Okay. So what are prepositions? You all must be learning these from your junior classes, from your earlier grades. Okay. So you all know that what are prepositions. We are just going to see that how it is useful in our course, how it is useful in the senior classes, how it will be useful in doing the editing, gap filling, all those exercises that comes in board exams. So we will take the topic preposition in this video, and we are going to do a couple of exercises so that you can know how to do the gap filling also. So we will start by the general description about prepositions. Then we will see the use of prepositions. We will see the different aspects of preposition that is very useful in learning prepositions. Okay. So we will go stepwise and we will cover this chapter in 2 parts. So in the first part we will see 2-3 points only, and in the next part we will conclude the chapter. We will conclude with the exercises. So keep on watching the video so that you can learn prepositions properly. So let's start your topic, prepositions. I am sure that you all already know what prepositions are. You must be aware with all these general topics of grammar, but still we have these grammar items very useful for our editing and gap filling. So we will just rewind them. Okay. So we will just see that what they are. We will do a revision of the grammar topics that are being taught to you from the junior grades. So here we have prepositions. A preposition is a word which tells us the relationship between nouns, pronouns or other words in a sentence. Okay. So what preposition is? Preposition is a word first of all. So preposition is a word which tells us what the relationship. It has the verb to tell the relationship of whom, of the noun and pronoun or the other words in a sentence. Okay. So it tells the relationship between nouns, pronouns and other words in a sentence, that how noun is related to the other words, how pronoun is related to the other words, how noun and pronouns are related. Okay. So it is the work of a preposition. So here I have mentioned that what work preposition has. So one thing you have to keep in mind, that a preposition often usually comes before noun or pronoun. Okay. So what is the condition for a preposition? It comes either before a noun or pronoun or maybe some other words. Okay. But one important thing that you must keep in mind, that a preposition never comes before a verb. Okay. So preposition never comes before a verb. If it has to come before a verb, then the verb must be in the gerund form. Which form? The gerund form. And what is that? You all already know, I am sure. What is the gerund form of a verb? The ing form. Suppose we have the verb read. So the ing form, reading, play, playing. So the preposition will never come with read or play or sing or eat. It will come with reading, eating, playing, singing, dancing, so on. Okay. So this is a very important condition of preposition. Keep it in your mind. So let's see a few examples. She came by bus. Okay, so what is the noun here? Noun is bus. Okay, so we have the preposition, see, by. Why is the preposition? Because it is showing the relationship between the noun bus, okay, and the pronoun she. Okay, she is the pronoun used in place of a noun. Okay, so it is showing the relationship between the pronoun and the noun, that she came by what? She came by the bus. So it is the relationship shown here, that she came by a bus. So it is the preposition. So this is the way of finding out the prepositions, and there are generally very common prepositions. The preposition of time, place, okay, that all we have studied in the junior grades, but still we will do a revision of all that in the video itself. Okay, see the next example. The meeting will be at 2 o'clock. So I have mentioned that preposition tells the relationship between noun, pronoun or other words. It can come either before a noun or pronoun. Okay, she came, the meeting will be at 2 o'clock. So the relationship of the meeting is shown with the time by at. So this is the preposition of time, because it is showing the relationship of the sentence to the time. See, the meeting will be at 2 o'clock. So we get to know the time here by the preposition at. Okay. So these are a few points you have to keep in mind, that preposition is never used with the verb. It has to be in the gerund form. Okay. When we want to use the preposition with a verb, before a verb rather. Okay. So preposition is always used before noun or pronoun. It is never used before a verb. If it has to come before a verb, then verb must be in the gerund form. Okay. So we will further study preposition in this video, and in the second part, the concluding part, we will conclude with few exercises. So keep on watching till the last. I have told you that what preposition is and where we can't use the preposition. Let's see further that how it deals with the words. See here, prepositions are so called because they are preposed. Okay, so prepositions are called prepositions because they are preposed. That means they are put before noun or noun phrases. Okay, what is noun and what are noun phrases, you know very well. So prepositions are called prepositions because they are put before noun or noun phrases. They are preposed before them. Okay. So I have already told you that prepositions can't be used before a verb. It has to be in the gerund form to use it before the verb. So prepositions are commonly used before noun or pronoun or the noun phrases. See how? Example is there. Flowers grow in gardens. So what is the preposition here? In, and it is used before the noun gardens. Okay, so see, both the conditions are fulfilled. It is used before a garden, and it is here we have used the preposition in here. Okay, so it is not used before a verb, and it is used before a noun. See the second condition, it can be used before a noun phrase. See, the bear passed through a thick forest. So see, here we have a thick forest, and it is the noun phrase. Okay, a thick forest. You all know what are phrases, what are clauses, what is sentence. So I don't have to go into the details of that. But see, it is used before a noun phrase, and here it is used before the garden. So what is the preposition here? Through. Okay, the bear passed through the thick forest. A thick forest, sorry. Flowers grow in gardens. So both of the sentences have, first sentence has the noun, the gardens, and the second sentence has the noun phrase, the noun phrase, a thick forest. Okay, so preposition is used before them. So what I have told you, that preposition can't be used before a verb. It has to be in the gerund form if we want to use it before a verb. So generally prepositions are used either before noun phrases or pronouns. Okay. Here we have the kinds of prepositions now. So we have understood that what prepositions are. Now we will see that what are the kinds of prepositions. Basically prepositions are only of two kinds. Okay. The uses are very vast because it is used as preposition of time, preposition of place. Okay. All that is not the kinds of preposition, but it is the way of using the preposition. Okay. So here we have the two basic kinds of preposition, that is number one, the simple preposition, number two, the compound preposition. Okay. So you have studied the compound sentences, the simple sentences, the complex sentences. So similarly, it is also very easy to understand. See, first of all, the simple preposition. Okay. Simple prepositions are formed by just one word. Okay. The prepositions which are of only a single word, which are used as a single word, are the simple prepositions. Examples: above, after, at, in, on, inside, over, above, etc. Okay. Whereas the compound prepositions are formed by a group of group of words or phrases. Okay. See, according to, we often use such words like in place of, according to, out of, together with, in place of, account of. So we use these words. We use these words in our day-to-day life, in our vocabulary, but we don't know what they are called. So whenever you are using such words, remember that these are prepositions only. Okay, these are compound prepositions. And when we have a single word preposition, it is called simple preposition. And we have a phrase. Okay, when we have a group of words, these are called compound prepositions because they are not a single word. Here see, according to, in place of, rather than. Okay, so all that are known as compound prepositions. Okay, got it? So there are basically two kinds of prepositions. Preposition of, sorry, that is, I'm mistaking here. We have two kinds of prepositions. First is simple preposition, which is formed by a single word, and the compound preposition, which is more than a single word, which is maybe a group of words or phrases. Okay, we have seen the examples. Now we will see that where to use these prepositions. I by mistake mentioned that preposition of, that preposition of time, preposition of place. Okay, all that we will discuss. That is the usage of the prepositions, so that where to use the preposition of time, where to use the preposition of place, how to use them, and what role they play in forming our sentences. Preposition is a very important part of the sentence. It makes the sentence grammatically sound. It adds to the grammatical beauty of the sentence. It is very useful. Without preposition, we can't frame our sentences. So prepositions are a very important part of the sentence. See, in language we have different words, and each word is categorized differently. Some are nouns, some are pronouns, some are verbs, some are adjectives, some are adverbs, some are prepositions. We will further see conjunctions, we will see determiners. Okay, all that are called together parts of a speech. So what is a speech? What we deliver, the conversation we have, the language we use. Okay, so to use any language, we must be familiar with the grammar of that language. So it is said that to learn a language, you must understand the grammar properly. So to understand the proper grammar of any language, preposition is a must. Okay, so preposition should be understood, conjunction should be understood. So we will see all of that in our coming topics. We are going to discuss the usage of prepositions. Okay, so in this part we will see that what are the usage of prepositions. Further, we will see the position of prepositions. That is very important for understanding prepositions completely. And in the next video, the concluding video of the chapter, we will see the all the remaining parts of your topic. But one important thing that will be there in that video is that we will discuss the errors of prepositions. So we often commit a few mistakes while using the grammar items. So in that video we will discuss that what are the common errors that we do while using the prepositions. But for now, let's come to our topic, the usage of prepositions. Okay, here we have we already have discussed that a preposition can never be followed by a verb. A preposition always needs to be before a noun or a pronoun, but when we want to use it before a verb, when it has to be followed by a verb, it must be, the verb must be in the gerund form, the ing form. Okay, so here see, prepositions are used in the following ways. So what are the ways of using prepositions? See, firstly we have the place. Okay, the preposition of place. So what are some common preposition of place? In, on, under, over, near, beside, etc. So these are some common preposition of place. Okay, so how to use them? See, the book is on the table. Okay, the boy is standing under the tree. So this is the preposition of place. Second, we have the use of preposition for telling or knowing the direction. Okay, this is the preposition of direction. See how? To, towards, into, through, across, okay, etc. All that are preposition used for direction. See the example. The boy ran across the field. The ball went into the garden. The bus was coming towards us. Okay, so all these are preposition of direction, and there is a very small difference between place and direction. Place is the exact place, and direction is just indicating the direction towards that place. Okay, so now we have the third and very important, the preposition of time. Commonly we have the preposition of time and place, but here we have divided them for preposition of direction and connection also. So see the preposition of time, in, on, at, etc. You all are aware with all these terms. I am just doing a revision of them. See, the movie will start at 5 o'clock. Okay, the test is on Monday. Okay, so this is the preposition of time. Now the connection. Preposition has the basic work of showing the relationship between noun and other parts of the sentence, the other words. So here it shows the connection how? By, with, etc. She came by bus. Okay. Okay, so these are a few a few usage of preposition. Okay, so you are all aware with preposition of time, place, direction and connection. I am sure this you must have been learning from grade 5th onwards. Okay, so prepositions are a very important topic that will come very handy for you, because a lot of students commit mistakes while doing the gap filling and editing. Suppose you have to fill in the blank with a preposition, you often put the wrong prepositions, and that will be very bad for you, because your marks would be deducted in that part, and your percentage may come down in the boards. Okay, so this is a thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, and in the next video that I am going to post, that will be very important. Please watch that video till last, because we will discuss the common errors that students commit, okay, or the normal people commit. So these were the few usage of prepositions. We will now conclude our topic with the position, okay, the last part of our topic for today. This is the concluding part of your today's lecture. So here we are doing some more, we are studying the preposition in detail. So we see that here we have the position of preposition in a sentence. So we will see that how to use the preposition in a sentence. You already know where to use it. It is used for the preposition of time, place, etc. But here we will see that in a sentence where it can be used, where it can come. It can come before a noun, it can come before a pronoun, whether it can come before any other sentence. See, a preposition is usually placed before a noun or a noun phrase, forming its object. One thing I forgot to mention in the starting, that the noun or the noun phrase, a preposition is used before it. So whenever it is used before the noun or noun phrase, the noun or noun phrase becomes the object of the sentence. Okay, so noun and noun phrase is the object of the sentence. Now see where to use a preposition. A preposition may be placed after the infinitive. Okay, so what is infinitive? We have discussed the verb form gerund, that there we use the preposition, the ing form. So the infinitive form of the verb is where we use to with a verb: to read, to play, to write, to sing, to eat, etc. Here see, I have no pen to write with. Okay, what do you see here? Here we have the infinitive to with the verb write, to write, and here we have used the preposition with at the last of the sentence after the infinitive verb, to write. Okay, so we have used the preposition with. So it is the position of the preposition. It comes at the last when we are using the infinitive verb. Now the third condition of the position of preposition, in typical interrogative questions, we use the preposition in the sentence at the last. Okay, so see, what does he need so many books for? See, a typical interrogative question is framed here, and we have used the preposition for at the last part of the sentence. Okay, so it is also a position of preposition to use at the last part of your question. It can be used in that sense. Now see the fourth. While turning into passive voice, you know, active and passive voice, we will discuss them in our course also. I will post a video on active and passive voice that will be there for the finals. Okay, it is not in your half-yearly syllabus. So, but you must be aware with passive and active voice. So see, when turning into passive voice, we have the sentence in the active voice. See, we cannot depend on your word. So the sentence is in active voice. We cannot depend on your word. So while turning into the passive voice, preposition comes into play. See, your word cannot be depended upon. Okay, see, we cannot depend on your word. Your word cannot be depended upon. Okay, so we have used the preposition upon while changing the sentence into passive voice. So these are few position of preposition that where to use, where to phrase, where to put the preposition in a sentence. So we have discussed all of that, and we have seen that what are the kinds of preposition, what is the usage of preposition, what is preposition, and in the next video we will conclude our topic. We will see what are the errors, what are the more usage of the preposition. Okay, all of that we will discuss in the next part. That video is really very important. For this week's Google Meet session, I have given you the task to learn the poem and to learn the 4 rules of subject-verb agreement. We will discuss that in our Google Meet session, and till that time, read all of this. There is no typical work for you to do from preposition. You don't have to note down anything in your fair notebooks. You can make your notes according to you, and we will do some exercises that you can do in your fair notebook in the concluding part of our lecture. So this was the part 1 of preposition. Hope you have understood it, and I hope that you are learning properly. Most of the students were not answering the questions related to the recent topics, so watch the videos timely. That is all related to your schedule, your routine. If you are not learning properly in a set routine, in a set schedule, then you will be very much behind from the course, because I will ask you questions on the recent topics and you will not be able to answer. That is very bad. So keep on learning, keep on watching the videos, wake up early at the morning, do your studies regularly, have your time also, do some activities, do some fun stuff also, but keep on learning, keep on watching the videos. We will meet again with the next part, and we will interact in the Google Meet also. So till that time, keep on learning, and we will meet soon. So you were watching PTO classes. I am Aman, and we will meet again soon. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and keep on learning.